Welcome and welcome back, my dear Taropals, to another pick a card, or rather pick an image reading for the month January of 24. If you are not a part of my Instagram community, I strongly recommend that you join me there. I've recently posted certain things that you should know about 2024, certain remedies. I'll give you the link in the description box below. I'll give you a link of that reel as well. So if you are a part of the Taropal community here, I invite you to join me on Instagram as well. You must have already seen the 3 images that are in the description, in the thumbnail and at the starting of the video. You can of course feel drawn to more than one particular pile. Go with what your heart says. This is a general reading. Again, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. I can't wait to look at what January brings for us. Let's get right into it. And by the way, Happy New Year. So pile number 1, we're going to start off with your oracle cards here, and we will begin with this one to see what is in store for the candles pile for the month. I don't know why I was going to say 2024. By the way, there is a 3-part 2024 reading that I've done. You'll find it in the description box and the card section. You'll also find it in the Timeless Readings playlist. If you haven't yet watched it, please go ahead and do so. If you're watching this in January, probably all 3 parts are already released. If you're watching it while I post it, the next one would be on career, money, finances. So don't miss out on the 2024 detailed pick a card reading. And I genuinely mean it, detailed. So, Spirit, January 2024, what can we expect for pile number 1, the candle pile? Let's look at it. Okay, this one wants to come out. We have renewed. What a card to start off a reading and a month and a year with. The number 30. And I see that beautiful butterfly spirit there, renewed, rejuvenated. Okay, we have this one, which is encourage, and the number 4. And we take one more. Okay, oops. Unaware, which on the reverse is insight. We look at this. We have already quite a lot of throat chakra energy coming in. And since this is out, we'll take it. Nurture, and another throat chakra. Discourage, love this. Some dates obviously showing up here is 3rd of January, 30th of January, 4th of January, and the 8th of January. Some of you could be born on this date, I'm feeling strongly, but for most of you, it is a relevant date to keep a check on. Again, I think I said it in the intro, there's a reel that I've posted on 2024, things to know and things to do on the Instagram page. You may want to check that. I've kind of covered some remedies and some lucky things to keep in mind. So I'm not going to repeat that here. Let's dive into what the month looks like for you. Straight off the bat, we definitely do see a revived, energized, focused energy coming in here. This I strongly feel is you, but you would also notice the same energy, and obviously most likely so happens to most of us during the new year time, that people are genuinely more energized, more focused, more encouraged, more keen to talk about things that matter. Nobody wants to talk small around you. People want to talk big ideas. People want to talk what's the next year going to be like, which is equally contagious as an energy. So there could be certain days in the month of January wherein you're perhaps feeling low and you're perhaps feeling defocused, but then there are your office colleagues or your friends or somebody in your family who really is so motivated and so focused that they inspire you, they encourage you to be on track, to be to feel that energy around you. Okay. Another thing here clearly is there is a particular skill set or a particular talent that you have, which is perhaps right now at an amateur stage, which you have been thinking about taking to the next level, learning something more around it, maybe signing up for a course. If you have been thinking on those lines, this is a confirmation from Spirit that says, please nurture that skill set of yours. Please nurture that talent within yours. This is also a simple reminder for those who have children. We have children in 3 different cards here. It's a wonderful year and a wonderful month rather to set certain annual goals for things that you want to do with your children, things you want to experience with your children, not just milestones that they achieve, but basically experiences that you want to live together, memories that you want to make in the year 2024. as a family, as a parent. This, for many of you, if you're not really somebody who has a child, could also be around two parts. One, can you bring in the energy of playfulness, of nourishment, of reparenting yourself? Some of you have been hearing this word and noticing this word, that I need to reparent myself, I need to relook at how I've developed certain habits. This is a call from spirit to also encourage you to reparent yourself. And where all can you be the child that you couldn't be? That could mean, like, creating a safe space for things that you like, or making out time for things that perhaps don't give you money or a certain direction in life, but just are things that make you happy. Those are the kind of things your mind would be drawn to in the month as it folds, and make space for those things. With the 3 blue cards there, blue of course being the color of 2024 as well, it's also a call to look at your speech. Are you trying? Sometimes it's easy to think that all the toxicity is around us, but we forget that sometimes we are also toxic. And every matured person understands that we all have toxic traits, right? I'm not saying that you are toxic, but it's important to notice and become aware and gain perhaps certain external feedback as well as to where can you do better, how can you communicate better. Is there something that you're missing or you're doing as a pattern, which perhaps is not a them problem, but a you problem, or maybe a we problem that we can solve by talking about it, by focusing deeply as to how you can do better at it. Okay, so this is a wonderful month wherein professionally people may give you feedback, take it in the right spirit. You may get certain direct downloads from spirit that tells you, oh, this is where I need to, this is how I get better at something. There's that energy of self-improvement, focus, nourishment. This of course also takes us to diet and health plans. A wonderful month, and like most people are very motivated typically at this time to take up a new diet plan and to stick with it. You are also being encouraged to look at what newness do you want to really bring in with this month of January. Okay, let's look at some Moonology cards to see what more messages come in. If you've reached till this part of the reading, I want you to leave me 2 babies in the comment section below. Tells me that you've picked pile 1 and tells me that you're going to make time to reparent yourself in whatever way that fits in for you. Adjustments are required. That's your first card. We have next one, January 2024 for pile number 1. Thank you, Spirit. Don't let your past hold you back. Of this. See, very new beginnings kind of energy, okay? I think there was a particular annual pile, like the 2024 major events pile, which even had the word new beginnings. Let me know in the comment section below if you're coming from that pile. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. And we'll take one more. January 2024, what's the guidance? Full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay. For most of you, this seems again like inner work and habits that you've perhaps developed over time. But, oops, sorry. My apologies. Pull the chair and pull the whole camera with it. Sorry. For most of you, this seems like habits that you may have developed and you've become very comfortable in, that you are challenging, that spirit is challenging in the month of January for you, okay? And these are not habits that you need to learn. It's more like things that you need to let go of or uncover about you. So to give you an example, this could be like being more authentic as to maybe a type of food you like, or maybe a time of the month wherein you want to do certain things your way, but you've always been the person who kinds of accommodates other people's needs more, okay? And you're being asked to be the real you, to be the honest you, to be and to say it with grace, because we did have that throat chakra energy showing in, but you're being assured by spirit that in any form or shape wherein you are expecting or hoping people to accommodate your needs, your comfort, your way of doing things, if you really show up as your true self, you may really surprise yourself as to how accommodating or how okay people around you are with what you really want to do. Okay, the full moon in Aquarius is typically in August, and the full moon in Capricorn is in July. So July and August clearly show up as a significant time frame for some of you, which is pretty much exactly 6 months from the time you start the year. So there is clearly a change, a renewal, something that you can grow into way bigger and way more impactful things in just as a short span of 6 months if you just allow it to stay consistent with it, okay? If you've been worrying about is the year, some of you have started this reading or you're listening to this reading thinking, oh, just tell me that the year is going to be better than how every other year has been for me for the past 2-3 years. And honestly, the answer is yes. But remember, if you keep replaying your past and what has happened to you in the past, or you keep talking about with it to other people, you tell your friends how miserable life has been since 2019 or 2017, you're just replaying and allowing yourself to stay in that frequency, to hold yourself back in that past narrative itself, okay? So the word of caution here is you literally have an opportunity to start clean, to start fresh, to end a cycle or a particular frequency that you've been trapped into in the year, in this particular month, only if you're ready to make those delta changes, if you're ready to kind of tweak your navigation system to really be yourself. And yourself does not have to be a victim. Yourself does not have to talk about the terrible things that have happened in the year 2023 and make that a part of your identity. You're more than that, and you're beyond that. That is a message or a guidance coming in for you, okay? Let us look at my favorite part rather, which is the tarot section of what the month of January brings in for pile number 1. So we will of course also be taking some more oracle cards with the self-care cards, which tells us how can you connect yourself to the energies that show up further, how can you take care of yourself, what would really be helpful for your mind, body, spirit, okay? For some of you, I'm also visualizing maybe you have a desire, very specific message to learn calligraphy, the writing, calligraphy, or something to do with you've been dreaming about calligraphy, and in the month of January you're being asked to again look at those talents, okay? We have the first card out, which is Moon, and the number 9 showing up here, Pisces energy reflected. Some of you, of course, and I can understand where that comes from, seasonal depression is very real. Winters can make many of us feel very low and out. So be aware of it, be cautious of it. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself over if, let's say, you start a practice or a habit, and on the 15th of the month you're not really feeling it anymore and you lost track of it for about 7 days. Don't beat yourself over it. Just get back on track and start again, and it's going to be it's still progress, okay? We have 3 of Wands. Some of you will be traveling, and if that is on your mind, go for it in the month of January. We have okay, you're definitely being nudged, if you're not already doing it, to learn a new skill, because you'll find the right mentors, you'll find the right gurus on the way to it, okay? Taurus and Pisces energy have shown up. We have the 5 of Wands. January 2024 for pile number 1. Thank you, Spirit. January 2024. Okay, we have the Page of Cups reversed. I felt like I want to take that reversed, so we'll take that reversed. January 2021. Inner child is clearly coming up a lot. Some of you will be diving deep into, maybe some of you have only read in theory and have been deciding to take up some classes or join some organizations or spiritual gurus. But January, you actually take that leap of faith, and that's what's clearly showing up for you, okay? A very word of caution for some of you. If you have kids, or if you have somebody who's very young in your house, they may get into a bully fight, or, you know, somebody may try to bully them, or they may come to you seeking some guidance, or they may be hiding that somebody else is bullying them. And if you've been intuitively thinking like, should I have a conversation with my child about is everything okay, this is a message here for those of you who are thinking on those lines. You perhaps need to have the talk, okay? 6 of Wands is the next step. So we have 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands, a lot of fire energy, and renewed was your message, and we started up with death. Okay. Your underlying energy is the 5 of Pentacles. The old is out and the new is in, okay? As cliche as that sounds for a New Year January read, honestly, that's what your cards and energy is. There is a victory that you're getting if you do not engage in petty gossip, in trying to prove a point, in trying to tell somebody that you were right and they were wrong. If you come across a moment, whether it's in a family situation, in a couple's fight, in a official argument, wherein you can just let it go and not go down the road that somebody is trying to take you in the month of January, within the month itself, not even like a longer time frame, because we have so many wands here, you're going to come out not only feeling more matured, but victorious. Your point would be seen by the other people. Your point would be seen by the other person, most likely as well, okay? Somebody may be fighting for your attention, the Three of Wands and the Five of Wands. If you are single, this could be someone who's a secret admirer, who really has deep feelings for you or doesn't want to acknowledge it. Something is going on with somebody around you who has that secretive admiration towards you. Now, some of you, it may not be even romantic. It could be like someone just admires you for and is inspired by you, by how you're dealing with life. This may or may not be romantic, of course, but for most of you, it does feel like there is a secret admirer who will finally come out and make a decision that I need to declare it. I need to sing it out to her or him that I really like this person. And if you're feeling that about somebody, your guidance or advice is that let them first come into acceptance towards the feelings that they're feeling for you. You can't push this. You can't rush this. Don't try to fight for attention in this month, because you honestly are supposedly getting enough of it, okay? So I'm channeling very particular phrases for this file, and of course take what resonates. There's this quote that says, look for respect, not for attention. And that is a key message for you in the month of January. Are you really being respected, or are you just craving for attention? Whatever you're doing is the intention behind it. This again goes back to inner child healing. Are you doing it? And there's no shame in it, okay? I'm not saying that to shame anybody who's trying to take attention. Attention also has its own power. If you're an artist, if you're a singer, this is a wonderful spread of cards that says you will get the stage, you will get eyeballs on you, you will get the ability to go viral. So it depends on how we see attention. But in the context of where attention and respect is being spoken about, there is a need in the month of January to ask yourself, and you'll get opportunities to do that. Am I doing this, or am I asking for this, or am I having this conversation because it satisfies a part of me needing a certain kind of attention, a certain kind of validation? And if the answer is yes, you don't have to shame yourself. You can then decide. That knowledge and that awareness can then give you the opportunity to decide, do you want to still continue this conversation, or do you want to perhaps stop it? Do you want to still go down this road, or perhaps change course? Okay, there's an opportunity for many of us with the Mercury going direct and the shadow period getting over to now change course correct wherever there is a course correction needed, because we've re-evaluated something, we've rethought about something. Okay, there's a significant Taurus energy here and the Scorpio energy, which is that opposites axis, so they're sister signs, and which talks about values, okay, which talks about what do we value, materialistic value, as well as what do we value as our value system. These are the deeper conversations that you're perhaps being asked to have. If you've never journaled in your life, January is a month I strongly recommend you to do so. Your mind and your emotions will come up with a lot of answers, okay? Some of you are being pushed to travel to the ocean. If that is possible for you, go for it. It's going to be a wonderful experience in itself, okay? If you are applying for in any form or shape, or if you're in competition in any form or shape in which there is somebody to get selected, okay, like, you know, those it's an executive exam, or it's something where, you know, when it's you against somebody else and somebody else has to choose you for you to get something, this is a wonderful confirmation that you will get it. Okay, this will, of course, it's a general reading, so play it out where it fits. But if you want to be chosen over somebody else, don't seek attention, just do what you're doing and stay at it, stay focused at it, and change will happen. People will choose you, okay? There's clearly a transformation for some of you, and I'm not surprised, again, January brings up those emotions. When we are looking at what does success mean to me, maybe for the past months or the past year, you've always thought that success is money, or somebody thinks success is fame, or somebody thinks success is more time. Whatever is your definition of success, that is perhaps changing, and this perhaps comes from a mentor or a guru you attract into your life. Okay, it is a wonderful month for you guys to also have heart-to-heart conversations about serious long-term things. And I'm not saying serious long-term in the sense of if you're in a relationship, to just start talking about, oh, when are we going to get married? Marriage is just just the event. The wedding is just an event. It's more about what are our value systems around raising children. What do we think about handling money, and what are certain things that are non-negotiable for for the person when it comes to finances. So having conversations that have a long-term impact with your partner, if you have somebody significant in your life, is going to bring you close together. Okay, let's look at what are some self-care rituals you guys can take care of in the month of January. If I've given you insight and this connected with where you are in life, what you're trying to work towards, or it helped you in any way, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me a lot. And if you've reached all the way till and you finished off the tarot part of the reading, do leave me a moon emoji, okay? Because emotions are running deep for you. Positive affirmations. So that's one way to take care of your mind, body, spirit. Speak gently to yourself. Again, we talked about lack self-judgment. It's again about, for some of you, you've been in a one-sided relationship, and it takes me back to that message of, are you seeking attention or respect, right? And giving yourself that self-love, that self-care to say, I deserve better, I am better, those kind of things. Read, number 42. We have a progression happening here, if you can see that. Okay. Some of the dates, of course, are 5th, 6th of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of Jan, I think came up already a couple of times for you, and 14th and 13th or 4th of Jan. Okay, some just significant dates that showed up, so I mentioned them. One last card. And okay, wow. We have number 8 and sex. This sometimes, I'm not saying that because YouTube censors it. So this can sometimes also indicate union with your own self many times. And I'm not saying it in the sense of, I'm talking about energetically, okay? Are you loving your body? Are you feeling your body? Okay, and of course, this could be one of the best stress busters that you need. YouTube has started to censor a lot, so I'm not getting into it. But with the moon card showing up and the Taurus and the Scorpio energy here, it could be really hot and heated in the bedroom, okay? If you're an adult, you perhaps got it. I've loved doing this. Again, don't miss out on the January 2024 readings, which you will find in the card section of this reading. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you liked it, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. Pile number 2 is those of you who picked the Fireplace pile. There is a 3-part 2024 detailed pick a card reading. In the first one, we cover the major themes and events. The second one, we talk about your love life. The third one is on career, money, finances. If you're watching this in December, the third one is yet to be out. But if you're watching this in January, all 3 of them have been posted in the timeless reading section. Don't forget to check those out. I'm pretty sure you will find good guidance there. Okay, we're talking about January 2024 for pile number 2s. We'll look at oracles, we'll look at tarot, and then we'll wrap it up with some self-care cards. We have your first one out. We have solemn and we have optimistic. Okay, interesting card to start off with. 27 showing up as the first one, and we have 2 January. Okay, we have renewed. This is funny. We've shuffled a lot in front of you. This came for pile 1 as well. Some of you were drawn to perhaps pile 1 and you've come to 2. And if you were confused between 1 and 2, there is a message for you in 1. Okay. And let's take a look. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog bark. It is a home filled with 3 dogs. Okay. 2024 January, what guidance do we have from spirit? What's going on? Okay, looks like this one will come out. We have reassured and we have concerned. Okay, some of you, I was feeling it. I didn't want to say it, but that card kind of confirms it. You have a lot of anxiety while you're watching this. How is it going to go? Is it going to go in my favor? Is this going to be a year better than the last one? Those kind of questions. And you're being asked and assured by spirit to kind of take a deep breath. It's going to be all okay. We have 3 root chakra cards here, by the way. So clearly a wonderful month to do root chakra claiming and cleansing, walking on the grass barefoot, sitting and doing pranayama, which is again another good way of grounding yourself, taking some salt baths, yoga. Those are some ways of connecting with your body and your root chakra. Okay, one last card, please. 2024. What's going on? January 2024. Please let this one to come out. Repelled. Wow, only reds. And fascinated. Okay. I am fascinated by the amount of reds here. Do leave me a red color emoji. Just the red color. If you are a fan of red or recently red has been drawing to you. Sometimes colors speak to us in that way as well. Wherein whichever chakra needs our focus, I have seen this personally in my life, I will start getting drawn to that particular color sometimes, okay? So if you are somebody who's getting drawn to reds, tones of reds a lot, that is also your own body and your mind subconsciously telling you where to focus your energies at. Back to the reading. Do leave me a red color if that is happening to you, okay? We have some numbers here significant, which could be dates for you or just could be the numbers, okay? There's a reel, like I said in the introduction, that I've posted, which again includes numbers to note for the year 2024. You may want to check that out as well. We have 26, 23, 27 and 30, which clearly tells me that the last week of January is significant for this file, okay? This also adds up to 5, 3s, 9 and 8, which could be some other relevant dates for you or numbers that show up for you. Immediately with the amount of reds that I see here, the first message comes out is that you're safe. Some of you really are feeling that sense of anxiety and out of body disconnection. And the first message that Spirit wants to give you for the month of January is that you're safe. You can be reassured, you can be calm, that you're safe. Okay. I don't know why I'm also hearing the phase, and I'm a clairaudient that says renewing your vows. Okay, so some of you are being asked to, if you're not feeling very safe in the relationship that you're in, this is a wonderful month to ask yourself, do you want to rekindle the joy that is lost, which is always, of course, a two-way effort, or maybe literally renew your vows. Okay, this renew your vows could also be, for some of you, a message coming up which talks about keeping a promise that you've made to someone, okay, in the past. Something in the month of January will clearly repel you in the context of that you can no longer tolerate that around you, that you can no longer be okay with it running the same way as it is. And it's almost like you have this a very clear mental and emotional decision made that this can no longer continue. I'm not okay with this, and this is going to bring in a very positive shift and a positive change for you guys, okay, which is what that renewed energy talks to me about. Some of you may be expecting, that's also a very specific message coming in for pile 2s, and be careful if you don't want to, that's not what you're trying to achieve. And if you're worrying about a delivery, of a baby's delivery, it's again a reassurance that it's going to all work out okay. Okay, there's also energy here of don't forget to have fun with life. Okay, we don't have to get so serious about every win and loss. We really make, and it's easy for all of us. I'm not saying you, I'm saying it's all of us, okay? We make every conversation, every argument we won, everything that, and that's understandable. That's how our ego sustains itself. We make it a do or die. It's like now or never kind of a thing. January is a month to take it easy on yourself. Even if you lose something, even if a conversation doesn't go your way, is it really the end of time? Does that really mean so much? Or is your ego really that threatened by not winning every battle? Is a conversation and a question to have with yourself again and again, okay? Take care of your lower back. That's a specific health message. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so consult your doctor if something comes up, but there's something to do with the lower back, which may be like a recurring issue some of you are feeling, and Spirit wants to draw your attention to say, like, do something about it, get it checked, okay? Something may initially, this is for those of you who are single, or, you know, actually can play out in much context, but I'm feeling this more romantically. You may be repelled or turned off by someone for a very long time and then suddenly develop a deep attraction for them. Or maybe this has already happened to some of you who are watching this reading. Like you've never liked somebody and you've always thought not so great things about them. This could be even in a context of friendship, okay? And now suddenly you're seeing them in a new light and it's confusing you, but that message from Spirit is that allow yourself to not always, you know, some of you who are watching this reading, you've allowed your negative experiences to kind of become like as if that is set in stone, okay? Which is why that message from 1 is also coming in here, that allow yourself to rewrite a certain narrative, okay? Allow yourself to be a little bit more, just a little bit more. You don't have to be naive, optimistic about outcomes, okay? About people, about knowing that it's not, everybody's not bad. And just because 5 people or 10 people you met in your life who were terrible and they bullied you, or were mean to you, or they broke your trust, the rest of the world is not that, okay? So having that faith in people, January will give you guys opportunities to have more trust. If you're ready to open up your heart, if you're ready to feel a little safe in those around you, okay? If you've reached till this part of the reading, I hope you've left me the red color emoji. We're going to move towards your oracle cards here. I also want you guys to comment and claim this. I am safe. I am protected. Okay, that is literally your mantra for the month of January. I am safe. I am protected. Type that and claim that. Let's see. We have take time to breathe out. What am I saying? I mean, this pile gave me anxiety the moment I started to shuffle. Take a time out. Okay. We put a lot of pressure. I'm going to say something opposite to. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves in the month of January, and which is also where anxiety is coming. Oh, I have to get it done. Oh, the new year has started. Oh, another year is in. It's just those calendar dates are made by us humans. Okay. So take it easy on yourself. You'll have enough time. Emotions are running high. We have 2 almost full moons here. 1 second, and January. A time to give rather than take. This is a wonderful month, pile number 2s. If you could plan a nature walk, okay, like literally taking out time to walk in the woods, or give yourself time to spend yourself outdoors, you would really feel way more connected and safer, okay? Of course, a wonderful month, like the new moon in Virgo says, for charity and giving back and feeling, okay, very specific message again, but I think this will resonate with many of you. Sometimes when you have the ability to give money or help somebody with time, it can, there are 2 ways to look at it. Oh, I'm always the giver and people are always taking from me and blah, blah, blah. And that's one way to look at it. And there's another way to look at it, that I must have enough, right? Which is why I'm able to give. You can't give something if you don't have enough of it. To be able to give means that you have something in abundance. And that is why you are able to give it. So to have that reassured, powerful feeling that people can take enough money from me, people can take enough time of mine, but maybe I do have it enough that I have the ability to give it to somebody else, is a message for you for the month of January, okay? Feeling that sense of gratitude to be able to even give, okay? Because not everybody can give, and not everybody is blessed with enough in life to give. Be bold and make the first move. The cardinal new moon, the first cardinal new moon of the year, is in Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign. I don't know the dates of the January new moon yet, but if I remember, I will put it in the comment section below. If you know and you check it while you're listening to this reading, be a sweetheart and share it with the rest of us in the comment section below. But the first new moon in January is significant for you guys. We have 2 new moons here already. If you can see, they always talk about planting intentions. A new beginning. And for some of you, this could be the year wherein you do some significant contributions, or you start a project for giving back to the community. Okay, this month, philanthropy, charity, what am I doing for my, and please remember, charity doesn't always mean that all of us are going to spend 1 lakh rupees to do something, or we're going to all volunteer together for some big event. I understand that everybody has their own restrictions. Philanthropy is way more simpler. It could be feeding a stray right outside your house. It could be, taking out 5 minutes to put some greens for the birds. It could be that you adopt a girl child virtually. There could be so many ways, so many smaller ways in which you can make a difference. So don't put yourself under the pressure of, am I really giving back enough? Just know that giving back in itself is an energy and a frequency that if you can tap into in the month of January, you'll feel empowered. You'll feel more connected to Mother Earth, okay, to the beings of Mother Earth. Very powerful energy of pile 2s, I must say. This is a wonderful month wherein you may also come into contact with, or rather have, not come into contact, or rather have very heart-to-heart honest conversations. Okay, and if you're single, or if you have a crush, or if you're waiting for someone to call you or text you, again, this is a message of, it's very easy to want to be understood. Nobody really wants to understand. That's another quote or a message that's coming in for you. Are you ready to understand people from where they stand instead of just always trying to be understood for where you are? Okay. Let's look at your tarot card messages now and see what comes up. September is a significant time frame for some of you. The new moon in Virgo happens in September. And like I said, you know, all the cardinal moons, full moons and new moons are some significant timelines for you guys. Okay. This pile really needs to take a time out also to acknowledge your fears. Some of you have been really trying to brave through life with a fake smile, or trying to, like, there's a borderline thing that you call it as toxic positivity, right? Take out time to acknowledge if something terrible has happened to you. If you've not yet had a time to heal or cry over something bad that happened to you maybe last year, or maybe like 2-3 years ago, and you've been just trying to wing it as we go along, okay? We're going to get into the tarot section of your reading. I hope you have written your affirmation of I am safe and I am protected. Let's see what January brings for pile number 2s. January for pile number 2s. Okay, too many cards are flipping. We'll give it one more shuffle. Okay, January for, okay, we have that. Look at that. We talked about this. Burning out. 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. You don't have to quit on something that you've really given your time, effort, and being a lot of resilient to. You may feel frustrated. Some of you, this could be linked to your menstrual cycles to some extent. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling overworked, and this month will be a lot of work for many of you, that's just very evident and given. A lot of projects coming in, people asking you to take up more time, you know, more workload. Take what you can, and then don't beat yourself over if you need some rest. The only word of caution is don't burn down something you have put a lot of efforts and time and energy into, because you get too emotional over it, because you get too emotionally triggered, because you've not eaten enough food that day, or you were just on a bad mood cycle, and then you burn down something that you've really put in a lot of efforts towards. That's your word of caution. This month will give you a lot of opportunities nonetheless to even do more, okay? Which is like, you know, it's like a two-edged sword, right? Like, it's a month wherein you can be very, very productive, and you may feel like, oh, I'm going to do this as well, and I'm going to get that done, and I'm going to be a part of 7 projects, and then suddenly start feeling very frustrated or burnt out, okay? So the word of caution here is, when you feel tired, when you feel exhausted, when you see yourself or you notice those emotional upheavals, take a breathe out, take some time, just time out. You don't have to quit on it. You can take a break. You can say, I can come back to this in a few months, in a few weeks, in a few hours, okay? That's a reminder. We have the 6 of Cups reversed. I am taking reversals for this part of the reading. January for pile number 2s. What can we expect? January for pile number 2s, okay? We have Fool reversed. Interesting. We have the energy of Sagittarius coming in. We have the 2 of Wands. Okay. This is not the time yet for some of you to make a change or to leap. So let's say you've been planning to buy a house. You've been planning to buy a car, or you're planning to change your job. This is not the month for it. This is a wonderful month to envision it, to give it more energy, to do more homework, to do that last mile run before you sign the T's and I's. Does that make sense? Like, this is not the month you start something new, but this is the month wherein you clear off the past clutter, you make visions in your mind as to how you're going to do it, and then you just do it, okay? That's for most of you. For some of you, though, the message is exact opposite, and that's why I say general readings are general readings. Some of you have been thinking of delegating your task to somebody. Some of you have been making just plans after plans of how would you reduce your workload. Let's say that's what the intent is, okay? I'm just using one example. It could play out in any way. Maybe you've been planning on having a conversation with your spouse as to what exact help do you want from them to manage your kids. All that planning that is happening in your head for a very long time, whatever is the reason that you're not choosing to delegate yet, please do so, okay? Please, honestly, genuinely do so. It's high time. It's not going to change until you really take that leap of faith, okay? Look at that. Health, really, mental health is coming up for you guys a lot, pile number 2s. Okay, sleep. January, I really want you guys to prioritize sleep. Okay, and maybe some of you are very focused and dedicated to bringing back that basic routine in your life, spending more time out in the sun. We have the sun card and we'll come back to it. And if you know tarot, you already know that you have one of the most positive cards possible of the deck showing up for you in the month of Jan. And we'll talk about this. We'll take one more card for January 2024, pile number 2s. What's happening? Okay, we have the 2 of Pentacles. We have 2 2s. Some of you could be seeing the number 2 2s a lot. And we have the Lovers as the underlying energy. Okay, I was just thinking I didn't tell them enough love messages maybe, and I want to talk about it. And we see the Lovers here. Someone who you felt has given up on you. And of course, I always say this, you don't have to take your ex back. I mean, rarely, like 0.001% is that ever a good idea, okay? Somebody who you had just given up hope on, because Fool can sometimes represent hope as well, or a relationship which felt like, oh, this is done, it's gone, it's just never going to happen again, may actually resurface. And it can, instead of causing happiness in you, can cause a lot of anxiety, can cause a lot of indecision, can cause a lot of fears, okay? And the message again from universe is that no matter which road you take, darling, you're safe, you're protected, you're loved. And there's that feeling of, it could be for some of you even a past trigger from, somebody who has abused you, or somebody was mean to you. Some of you may have a recurring nightmare problem that may come back in the month of January, but chanting is the way to go for it. That's 1. 2, just remember that you've now crossed that bridge. You're no longer that person and they cannot harm you anymore. I don't know why I feel like saying, I really want to give pile 2s a hug, because I can sense the energy is hard here. Okay, you're dealing with something hard and you've been a strong warrior, and your higher self, your spirit, does acknowledge it. Okay, you are getting opportunities for surely to reel in more than one source of income. If you have like a side business, if you've been hoping for a part-time job, that is coming your way in the month of January, pile 2s. Okay, 2 of Pentacles always talks about balancing 2 different things, getting money from more than one place. We have the Sun card, which in itself talks about abundance. It, for many of you, could be that there is a fatigue around the amount of events, the amount of money, the amount of how demanding your life may suddenly become in the month of January, and in all possible good ways. Like, one of those months where, let's say, your sister's getting married, but you also have 3 business travels planned, and you also have, a big shipment coming in for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's one of those months where everything is happening and everything is good, but sometimes the good can also overwhelm us. Again, take out time to breathe, to remember that you can only give to other people when your cup is really full, when you're feeling very healthy and aligned. We have the energy of Leo and Gemini strongly showing up for you as well, apart from Sagittarius with the Lovers card. This could be also a month wherein you have more than one choice. Okay, so it could be like you're thinking about buying X car or Y car, which is why this is not a month to sign the deal. Like I said, it's a month of redoing the homework and looking at things, because you will get more options ahead. That is for sure. There's no limit to the amount of opportunities coming your way, is a message that I feel pile number 1s really need to know it. So if you're pressurized, or if you're worrying about, if I let this go now and if I don't finish all of it today, somebody else will get it. Even if somebody else gets it, you're going to get another chance. Life never stops giving you chances when your intention is good. That is a message very strong for you, okay? If you've been fighting really hard for something and you've been worrying about the health of someone specifically who's close to you, especially somebody you've known since childhood, you're being assured that they're okay. Their health is okay. Okay, some of you may face like some days in the month wherein somebody close to you is suffering, maybe a child, maybe a parent, and you've been assured like they're going to be okay. You don't have to, and maybe you're not there physically, you don't have to guilt trip yourself over it. Okay, there's also a message here of letting go of the past, pile number 2s. Okay, in the past, as in your past fears, your past drama, your people in the past that you've loved, there is a new sun for you. There's a new adventure waiting for you. This is a wonderful time to take that leap of faith and trust that new people can also be good, and there's enough people that you've not met, enough projects that you've not done. It's not, oh, the glorious days of the past that can help you at this moment. Okay, if you've reached till this part of the reading, I want you guys to leave me a globe emoji, because some of you are definitely traveling, and the travel in itself can cause you a lot of exertion. So leave me a globe emoji, tells me that you've covered part 2 of the second part of the reading, which is the tarot cards of it. We'll give you some self-care cards to look at how do you, wow, look at that. I was thinking about animals. We talked about nature, and here you go. Spend time with animals. If you have a pet, definitely spend time with them. If you don't, you may want to consider adopting one. You may actually come across a stray animal who gives you a lot of loving vibes. Okay, so spend time with animals. They will really connect you. One more. Be still. We talked about this. This is a month for you to take time outs. Meditation, yoga, pranayama, coming back to your body. Okay, that's another way to connect and take care of yourself. And we take one more. Okay, watch a movie. Simple as that. Disconnect from the world. And I literally want to tell you guys, some of you, I mean, I can't have winters without watching Harry Potter movies. So some of you, I don't know why, for pile 2s, I want to tell you, go watch some sci-fi movie or some easy on the heart kind of movies, and that could be a wonderful way to disconnect from that mental negative spiral that some of you are feeling. If I've helped you, please don't forget to like that video. Another way to support the channel is to share this with a friend who you know will enjoy this, and I will see you in your next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Welcome and welcome back, pile number 3s. We are looking at January 2024. If you haven't yet seen the 3 parts 2024 detailed pick a card reading, you will find them in the cards section below. I strongly and urge you to watch those. They are literally as detailed as it gets. So I have 3 parts, wherein one we're talking about the major themes and event. Thereafter we have the second part, which is about your love and romantic relationships. The third one, if you're watching this in January, is already posted, and if you're watching this when I share it in the month of December, is going to come out next. So hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss it. Okay, on that note, let's look at January 2024. What does it hold for pile number 3? Okay, we have perceptive. Interesting. We have exciting. We have violent. Wow. Okay, and the other side is peaceful. Violent and peaceful. And 1 second, let's make space. Okay, one more please. January for pile number 3s. Thank you. We have sorrowful. Okay, what an interesting spectrum. Sorrowful, exciting, perceptive, violent. Okay, and I like how it's going from left to right, which is like as if the energy is moving from being sad to being angry to then getting excited, and then having the perception, the bird's eye view, that we can let emotions come in and observe them and let it go. Okay, that's one message coming in for you guys. We have some significant dates here showing up, of course. 28, 20, 12 and 6, 3 and 10 and 1 and 6. Those are some numbers that came in which could be relevant for you, which could be those dates which are relevant for you. Like I said in the intro, there's a reel that I've made for the year 2024, what things you should know about numbers and colors and other remedies. You'll find that in that Instagram one. Check that out, not repeating that. There has been an event in the past, for most of you, this is in the past, which has really let you down, or you felt disappointed because you witnessed something from a very near and a dear person, in the sense of betrayal or how they fell, or something terrible happened to somebody you know, and it really make you look at life or how you are from a very deep, painful place, okay? And because of that, you've almost taken over a role of being the matured one, or trying to deal with life with a brave face one, and you've not kept a lot of space, a lot of safe space. It's funny, it's coming up again and again, and it's the Capricorn season, of course, with most of January, wherein we are going to be asked to look into our daddy issues for many of us, okay? Our father wounds, our where do we not feel safe? Where did we feel like we wanted somebody to protect us, to take care of us, to be the nicer one, and we didn't get it, which makes us constantly feel like that we have to always just stand up for ourselves and fight for ourselves, because it's all each for its own kind of the world that we live in, okay? There's a change in perception that is coming. There's a deeper understanding. There's a sense of forgiveness. That's the word. Okay, yeah, that's the word I'm channeling into. Forgiveness that is coming for you in the month of January. Some of you are hoping for forgiveness for someone, and if that's the case, you're going to be very happy to know that they've genuinely forgiven you. But for most of you, it is more about forgiving and receiving giving forgiveness to somebody who's hurt you, who's been mean to you, who's perhaps for some of you, even as triggering as it could be, physically hurt you, you know, like domestic violence or something. And you're ready to look at that person and know they must be so wounded. And I'm not at all justifying somebody doing that for you, to you, okay? Not even by a cent, okay? It's more from the sense of they couldn't break me. You know, whatever happened to me, that incident could not still break me. And I'm still this person. And I am this person with these strengths. And of course, that trauma did play a role into my life. That kind of a change in perspective is coming for you in the month of January. There's clearly also something happening in the literal sense that makes you very excited, which gets you from a state of, you know, if you've been feeling like, oh, it's all in a rut and there's a monotony that has set in, things are not really changing, I would love to have something different. Some of you are really getting that incident. For most of you though, and by the way, I saw the numbers 51, 51. So some of you could be seeing those twin numbers. That was the camera number that I just saw. You're also being asked to be grateful and ask yourself, can you really make it fun here and now instead of trying to think that fun is somewhere else? Some of you could be in Enneagram, you know, personality type 7 or an ENFP, where you're constantly looking for the next shiny thing, the next motivating thing, and you're not finishing enough projects. And this is a message from Spirit to say, can you really make that boring thing fun, that not so fun thing fun, by gamifying it, by motivating yourself? And you know, I just recently heard this somewhere, and it's coming in here. It takes a lot of time for many of us to acknowledge and accept that life is about making changes, is about pushing ourselves to do what we don't want to do most of the times. Okay, it is not always going by, oh, what I willed. It's most days about what I really didn't will. I didn't have the will for, but I did it. Okay, because sometimes our minds can just hold so much resistance rather, for something that is really good for us. But we don't want to change our perspective around it. We just want to stay in that moment. Okay, a word of caution, of course, with the 2 solar plexus coming in. Use your power right, pile 3. Don't violate somebody else's space just because you know that you have a certain power over a situation. Be just, be fair. Okay, this is again bringing us back to 2024 being ruled by Saturn. Be just and be fair. Even though you have a certain amount of power or a certain amount of leverage, don't intimidate somebody else to agree to something that you know does not typically make them happy, or they're doing it because they don't have a leverage against you. I know a very specific message, but it's coming, so we will talk about it, okay? Someone who has always seen you as a disappointment, this could of course be a parent figure or someone else, they may change their perspective about you as well in the month of January, okay? They may start understanding you from a different lens, which makes them, you know, then feel bad about themselves that this is how they've treated you, or this is how they've said things to you. That change is, and that shift is also very likely, okay? Let's look at Moonology to see what's coming in for the month of January for pile number 3s. If you've reached till this part of the reading, I want you guys to literally comment in this and claim this mantra for the month of January, because this mantra is what your affirmation should be. I make it fun. I make it fun. Life is not fun. Situations are not fun. It's about how I see it that makes it fun. So type in the comment section below and claim that mantra. I make it fun. Nobody can give you an exciting life or a fun life. You create it in those day-to-day moments. Okay. Let's see what Moonology wants to tell us. We have, you and your loved ones are safe. Some of you, if you were drawn to pile 2 and you needed a certain kind of a message come in, that's in pile 2. If you were drawn to it, go listen to that. New moon in Cancer happens in the month of July. You and your loved ones are safe. For the month of January, we have a new start is coming. Look at that. Who doesn't want to see that for a January reading of all, okay? A new start is coming. And like I said, for some of you, you've been waiting for that monotony to break, and it is happening for you. A fiery climax approaches. July and October are 2 significant months that have come in for you guys, by the way. And one last one. Full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Okay. For many of you, you are going to celebrate some sort of a successful completion of a project, okay? And thereafter, the word of caution is, it's good to celebrate, please enjoy your moment, please take care of what you well deserve to earn. And then your mind may go into this limbo state, missing out on a certain opportunity wherein you have a chance to kind of pick something. Oops, sorry, shake the camera. Pick something new, and it needs some more detailed planning, it needs some focus, and you may get into that zone of, oh no, I just got done with something and I don't want to pick up something else. It's going to be a lot of work. Sometimes we can be cutting ourselves off a particular opportunity. January may present you or may connect you to certain powerful people, powerful opportunities, the next big project. Don't say no just because you're tired. Okay, I know, you can just reschedule it, you can make it happen in some other way, but don't say no because you just got done with something else. That's just a message. This could be a romantic relationship. This could be, a project. This could be anything. Don't say no to something because you don't have time for it. If you know that it's a great opportunity, if you know that you otherwise like the person, time will be made. Situations will be created. We fit in things as we move along, but give that new thing a chance. Okay. Some of you have been dealing with somebody who has been extremely abrasive of you. This could be professionally, this could be again a family member who's mean to you. And there's this boil down, there's this showdown, there's this face off that may happen in the month of January as like an argument, or somebody gets to in a very heated moment, and then things literally just get okay. Both of you see the situation from a very different lens. You maybe either understand where they're coming from, or the relationship is done and dusted forever. Either way, by the time you're in February, that bitterness, that anger, that abrasiveness, that bullying is gone. Okay, this way or that. You're kind of free from something that is constantly keeping you in a pattern of a certain way of doing things. Okay. Of course, with the new start is coming, anything that you're planning to launch, whether it's a startup business, whether it's a course that you want to sign up for, go for it. Those cards definitely talk about creating something new, making it exciting for yourself. Okay. And all of those demand time and discipline. That is a clear message for you, pile number 2s. We have that solar plexus coming in with those yellows. It's a lot to do with determination, willpower, pushing ourselves to do what is the right thing to do for ourselves. That is what January is about. I'm going to move towards the tarot section to see, deep dive into what else comes up for you in the month of January. If you finish the oracle section of this reading, which is that you've reached all the way till this part, I want you guys to leave me. Okay, the funniest thing happened, and I don't know since when the video is paused. I'll have to go back and check. Wow, I think it was paused from the time I said I was wrapping up the Moonology deck, because I kind of pulled out all your cards and then looked at the camera and realized that, oh no, it's not recording. And by then I'd already kind of stopped for about 10 minutes. So we'll start again. Okay, we'll start with the Five of Swords. If you are a girlfriend or if you're a person who typically tends to nag a lot, or you tend to be on a loop with people, and some of us are aware that we do it even though it's annoying, this is a month of caution that don't. You're going to rub somebody really wrong. So don't nag someone, say something one time and then let them decide whether or not they want to go down that route. This is a month wherein you're also not keen on any kind of a cloud nine story. You're very grounded to your own reality. You will have patience, of course, with how things unfold, or you need to have patience with how things unfold. But the message here is clearly also balance it with knowing that we don't have to say the truth in a harsh way. Okay, we don't have to say the truth in a way that cuts off people with our words. We can be, there's no laurel to hold on our chest that I'm brutally honest. And I'm guilty of this myself. I say it many times and then I realize like there's nothing to be proud of, to be rude and be brutally honest. We can say something in a kind way and still be honest. We can say something in a nice way and still be honest. Okay, that is a message that you need to remember in the month of January. How are you communicating what you're saying? Okay, this is also true for your own self, pile threes. It's very easy to beat yourself over like, I can't keep a diet, I must be good for nothing, I never allow other people to respect my boundaries. You don't have to be that brutal with yourself, you know. You wouldn't say that to a friend when they're telling you their story, right? Then why say that to yourself? Okay, any relationship, any place wherein you're feeling that you're over investing while the other person is not invested enough, you're not getting the due returns. This could be in a professional partnership, this could be in a relationship. You're ready to walk away, you're ready to move on. Chariot is literally the card of taking control of your own life and moving ahead. This is a month wherein you're really in every possible way choosing to move ahead. We have 2 sevens here, which also talks about 777. Could be certain number combinations that you're looking at. This is a month wherein it's very funny, but I'm laughing because it's almost like it's very motivating and it's very funny to see the vision that I'm seeing. It's like somebody who's very tired of their own narrative, tired of their own stories and their own patterns and their own procrastination, and they've just decided to like take that leap of faith, take that new beginning. I would rather say this is not a new year for you, but rather like a new late December. It's like you're tying up the loose ends, you're making sure that it's all done of the past. You've had the conversations that you need to have. Okay, if you're not happy with a particular choice that you've made, this is a month wherein you can reverse that choice, wherein that choice can change for you. Pile number 3s. Okay, and in a good way, and in a good way in the sense that you wanted a different set of decor or a different set of house paint, and you know something in Mercury retrograde is done and you want to redo it or reevaluate it because you don't like it anymore, or you don't want to be in that contract, or you don't want to be with that person. You made certain over promises in that particular moment. You can reverse it. That is, you know, you can just go back and take it back, and there's probably not going to be much losses to incur around it. Okay, this is a month also that tells you to get off your couch for some of you. Okay, get off your couch and make some physical activity a part of your life, which will actually enhance the quality of your sleep as well. Okay, which will actually also help you to not get into that mental spiral of negative thinking. Okay, physical movement will really help you to do that. Also remember that if you're asking something repeatedly, why is this happening to me? Why do I keep getting in that particular zone? For some of you, and this may not be the answer that you're hoping to feel, it is a past life karma and it is an ancestral debt that you're paying off. Okay, so if there's a repeat loop that you're stuck in, visit whichever temple, whichever mosque, and pray for forgiveness and mercy for your ancestral debt. Okay, it's almost like there's a pattern you're here that you're paying off, and for most of you it seems like it's done, you know, but that still weighs heavy on you as to why do I keep living the same on loop situation. Okay, Lovers reverse and the Two of Cups reversed also of course talks about breaking away from a partnership for some of you, but for most of you it feels like as if this is already done and you're more in the aftermath of that cutoff. Okay, for some of you of course it could be that you're choosing to walk away from a certain partnership, which we've already covered. Okay, Two of Cups reversed can also sometimes talk about, are you being loving enough to yourself? Are you giving yourself the self-love that you need, or are you just reading about self-love and thinking about self-love, but not really doing anything about self-love. Okay, January is a month to again embrace discipline and do what needs to be done. Some of you may of course travel. Chariot card does talk about traveling and long distance travel. It also sometimes talks about balancing, or rather does talk about balancing the yin and the yang within you, the active masculine and the active feminine energies. Okay, let's look at some self-care cards that come up for you. Pile number 3s. I am not sure how much of your reading got cut off, but I'm hoping most of it did get covered. Okay, the ancestors energy is very strong though. Okay, so maybe creating an altar, doing some donations for your ancestors will really help you. Okay, create art. The number 8 comes in for you. Self-care rituals that you should take care of in the month of January. Okay, we have abundance planning. I love this. Journaling, visualizing, cutting off checks. You know what this part is, right? Like if you have a checkbook and you can buy things that you want to buy, what would you buy? Okay, that's what abundance planning is. Writing out positive affirmations. That's what abundance planning is. Okay, we'll give you one more. Make a vision board. This gives me goosebumps. I am making one after a really long time, so I'm excited for it, and I really want to see how many of you. Let me know in the comment section below in case you're also planning to make a vision board. Okay, there's something funny which is happening with your reading, and I always notice when such things occur. Okay, it's like almost my camera is acting funny, the lighting comes in and goes out. Of course, it's a Mercury retrograde, that's to be kept into account, but it's almost like don't allow the side distractions to stop you from doing what your initial plan was, because that initial plan can still be successful. Don't allow detours, distractions to make you think like, oh, should I stop it? Oh, should this be done? Okay, make a vision board and literally believe in that vision, because this is one of those years where those vision boards can come into play, and as much as possible use handwritten notes. As much as possible kind of write it out with your own hands. Look at the hands part that is coming in. You're creating, you're writing your own destiny, and January seems to be a key month that kind of verifies it, signifies it for you guys. If you've reached this part of this reading and you've enjoyed and you've connected to everything that I've said about January, do leave me a writing emoji, because look at them all, they're writing. Tells me that you've been with me till the end of it. If you'd like to help me a little more, share it with a friend who would like to also see it. And don't miss out by clicking on the bell icon and switching on all notifications. As always, love you. Happy New Year again. Bye-bye.